Hi, this is Rick Bice with Bice Fit Exercises on behalf of Edmonds Park and Recreation. Today we're going to go through a circuit training class. What we'll do is we'll alternate between strength training exercises for the muscles, bones, and connective tissues, and then cardiovascular exercise for the heart, lungs, and circulatory system. What we'll do, it's all timed, so what we'll do is we'll do a minute on an exercise. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll do another minute on the same exercise or something very similar, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So I'll call all those out as they happen. What you'll need for this exercise program today is a chair over here, maybe some light to medium dumbbells, and some resistance tubing or band. Maybe light or medium, whatever you have on that. With or without handles, doesn't matter on that. We will begin with a warm-up. We will go through the exercises, then we'll finish off with a cool down and then some stretches at the end. This is all at your own pace, so we strive for a minute's worth of work. If you need to take your breaks, quicker than that, or if by the end of the minute you're not tired or fatigued, you could just go straight through that break that we have. So it's all up to you, the kind of resistance you use, whatever works for your body. Make sure your surrounding area is clear, that you've got room to move around, arm's width sort of stuff at least. You have a proper footwear for the floor that you have. If you've got slippery hardwoods, make sure that you're wearing good shoes that aren't going to slip and slide. If you've got thick carpet, making sure that your feet aren't going to get, isn't going to get caught on the carpet or something and trip you up. So just being careful. All right, let's begin. Okay, we're going to begin with a warm-up here. So nice and easy. Remember, we are just looking to get a little bit of blood flow to the muscles, to the joints, grease up those joints a little bit, stretch the lungs out. We just want to get the body warmed up and ready for activity. You can do what I'm doing, or you can do something else. If you've got exercise machines there, treadmill, rowing machine, elliptical, use those. Aerobic step, if you've got a stairway, that you want to go up and down, or a hall you want to walk back and forth on, whatever works for you. If you've got, exercises that you've done in a class, martial arts, sports, aerobics, Zumba, dance, anything like that, whatever works for you. For your warm-ups or your cardios. Again, the warm-up, this is going to be gentle. Won't even barely break a sweat by the end. We've got about 48 seconds left. It's a 2-minute total warm-up. Just want, to make sure this exercising and getting into things isn't a shock to the body, that it's warmed up a little bit. Check your space. Make sure you've got nothing to trip over. You've got proper footwear. It's not slippery, on the hardwoods, or you don't have a long shag carpet that you're having to work on. Making sure you're lifting your feet, picking your feet up, so not sliding, and you don't want to trip over anything. Make sure, coffee tables, everything's out of the way. Try to have, if you can, a good arm width all the way around you of space to work in. Good, 5 foot by 5 foot box if you can. Making sure there's nothing to trip over, or hands aren't going to whack the walls. All right, nice job. Great warm up here. We're going to get on to the first exercise here. Okay, we are looking at a doorway push-up. So instead of a wall push-up, using a doorway, that way your head and your upper body is able to go through the wall, basically, in the doorway. As opposed to bumping into the wall when you're doing push-ups. Here we've got your typical 30-inch doorway for closets, bathrooms, bedrooms, that sort of stuff. 36-inch can work. Just all depends on how wide your shoulders are, how long your arms are. But if you can do the 30-inch doorways, if you have one of those, works a little bit better. So standing a little bit ways back from it, you're going to start with your arms straight at about chest height, kind of lower chest, and you're going to allow yourself to fall in and then push back. So we got a minute of this. Fall in as far as you can comfortably. Drop those hands a little bit more. Keeping your core and your abdominal muscles nice and tight, as straight as you can. It's okay for your heels to come up off the ground. Allow yourself to fall in as far as you can and then push out. So this is a little easier way to do a push-up. Instead of doing it on counters or on your couches or on the floor, you're not putting as much body weight on your hands and arms. So a lot more body weight is on the feet. This is going to help out a little better here. There we go. All right, take a break there. So a little bit tougher on the wrists because your hands are like this and your wrists are bent. So if you're having wrist issues, what you can do is try a fist and come in. A little tougher to go in as far with the fist. What you can do, take a washcloth or something rolled up and pin your body weight against it so that you can do these and keep the wrist straighter and more neutral without having something so hard that your knuckles are placed against. That's kind of one of the only downsides of this one. Being on a doorway or a wall is that your wrists are normally like this and it's a little tougher. All right, let's try a second set here. So again, you don't want your hands too high because then you end up doing this, which is external rotation of the shoulders. We want forward and back, straight forward and back. So make sure those hands are low on the lower part of the chest, below armpits. And depending on where you're standing, if you're standing out further, it's harder to do. So again, this is going to be an easier exercise because you won't be able to put as much weight on your hands. You will not be able to stand back too far because we still want the hands coming right to the armpits and not doing this sort of thing, okay? Here we're working chest muscles, the pectorals. You're getting front deltoid in the front of the shoulder, and then you're also getting triceps in the back of the upper arm, along with core and torso and spinal muscles. All right, nice job. Let's move on to the next exercise. We are on the wall sit, static wall sit. So find a good wall in your house or a door, something, the smoother the better. So what we're looking at here is just taking a seat, and static means to hold still. So we're not going to slide up and down the wall. We're just going to sit and hold. How long you hold is up to you, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute. Again, whatever works for you. Walk your feet out in front of you, making sure that your shoes and the floor are not slick. So I've got hardwoods, I've got some good sneakers on. My feet are not sliding at all. When I'm in this seated position, I want to pay attention to make sure the feet are not going to slide out in front of me. Last thing you want is to have them zip out and have you land on your rear. So taking a seat here, okay, back against the wall. How low you go is up to you. Knees or thighs parallel to the floor is about as low as you'd want to go. You want to have your feet out in front of you far enough to where the knees are above the ankles and above the shoelace area, not back here. Okay, you don't want those knees going forward. You want to put your weight against that wall, whatever you're leaning against, something solid, of course, in here, and taking a seat. And again, however long you sit is up to you. Make sure to breathe the whole time. If it's a door, make sure you're leaning against the part that's closed against the jamb. You don't want someone to open that door or have it maybe not, closed properly all the way and then have it open up when your weight goes against it. So really being careful. All right, take a break here. So really being careful of where you're doing this at, making sure it's solid, it's going to hold you, and if it's a door that it's not going to open on you or someone else isn't going to open, and also making sure that the floor is going to work. If you're wearing slippers and you're on a hardwood, your feet are probably going to zip out in front of you. So really making sure that they're not going to. If your floor is a little dusty, taking a wet paper towel and just hitting the bottom of your rubber shoes just a little bit to make them tacky. That can help out so that your feet don't slip at all. All right, let's try it again. Another minute. So in position, again, walk those feet out, slide down that wall. Make sure that the knees are not going past the shoelaces. My knees are right, about above the ankles right now. I'm about hip to shoulder width apart. I could go down a little further if I want. Really push your back into the wall, push your feet into the ground. Sitting up nice and right. These thigh muscles are having to work. Quadriceps, glutes in the rear are having to work. Got about 25 seconds. And again, anytime you need a break, just, stand up. Stand up, all the way if you need to or whatever. And then get into a position where you can slide back down. Keep your rear on the wall the whole time. Don't have it sitting out. Low back and hips are against the wall. And about 5 seconds. All right, nice job. Okay, on to the next exercise. Okay, grab your resistance tubing or bands. Got some tubing here. I took the handles off. Again, you can use, have the handles on or not, doesn't matter. We're not going to use the handles for this exercise. So start palms down, gripping your tubing. And these are pull aparts. What we're going to do is we're going to anchor the band with our hands, and then we're going to pull our hands apart. Okay. As we pull apart, elbows go backwards, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hands will start out in front of you, and they'll go backwards and apart, squeezing your shoulder blades together. All right. So a minute of this here. If you need more resistance, grab closer together to begin with, or a thicker, heavier band. If you need less, a smaller, thinner band, or just grabbing further apart. Ideally, you want to start about elbow to shoulder width apart as you do this. Elbows are going backwards. Hands are ending up on the outsides of the armpit. Hands are only coming apart for the most part because my elbows are going back and my hands are going backwards. I'm pulling apart the rubber band, but they'll come apart automatically as I go backwards already, because those hands will finish off right on the outside of the armpits. And squeeze the shoulder blades towards your spine. 5 seconds. Nice tight core. Take a break there. So a nice tight core, really everything nice and tight here. Make sure the hips are not moving at all. Okay, there's no movement of anything going on except for the shoulders, elbows, and shoulder blades. Those are all that's moving. Now, if gripping the band is a little tough for you, what you can also do is start palm down and then do a wrap. Same thing, do a wrap. Okay, that way now I don't really have to grip the band as much because it's just wrapped around the hands. All right, so we'll try second set here. So again, arms out in front of you, tighten the core, and here we go, back. Working the upper back muscles between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids. We're getting some rear deltoid in the back of the shoulder, some biceps in the front of the upper arm. Of course, gripping muscles with the hands, and then abdominals and spinal muscles having to support and hold. Whatever stance gives you comfort. Again, elbows go back and I squeeze my shoulder blades together towards my spine. Just slight little hold at the end and back. Breathing the whole time. All right, always breathing. Don't hold your breath ever. We're breathing through everything. Take note of the pink sign right back there in case you need something visual. Couple seconds, almost there. All right, well done. Okay. All right, we are on a cardiovascular, so getting rid of your rubber bands here. We got a transition. You can start right now, or you can take the 30 seconds of our transition to get ready. Get your space ready. Move things out of the way. Make sure you don't have any dumbbells or anything laying around that you can trip over. Grab a sip of water. We want to stay hydrated through this, so anytime you're getting thirsty, probably already starting to get dehydrated, so keep your water bottle or glass of water close by. grab a couple sips here and there, all right? And we're officially gonna begin in about 3 seconds here. All right, and here we go. So about 2 minutes and 23 seconds left here. Cardio is very similar to your warm-up, except just a little more intense, a little faster, more brisk, okay? And again, whatever you want to do, whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable, you can do what I'm doing or do something else. Try to keep a nice pace, consistent movement with whatever works for your body safely, with your balance, your coordination, with the space you have, you know, whatever shoes and floor you have to work with. But we're trying to get the heart rate elevated. We're trying to get the breathing elevated. All right? Think of the talk test. I'm talking and I'm not too out of breath. I can still talk to you, so I'm okay. That's where I want my breathing and my heart rate to be. If you can talk out loud, you know, hey, what is your name? What's your favorite dessert? Start talking to yourself out loud. If you can do that, you're okay. If you can sing, or you know you're out of breath talking, then you might need to tone it down a little bit. Or let me rephrase that. If you can sing, it's probably too easy. If you're talking and you're out of breath, then you need to tone it down. You're probably going too fast. Think of the talk test. All right, we got about 35 seconds. And work with whatever you have as far as your space. Again, if you've got equipment to use or an aerobic step, or you've got martial arts moves or a jump rope, or stairs to go up and down, whatever works for you. Just get that heart rate up and try to be consistent. Even if you need to take a seat and just use your arms, that's fine too. If you're having knee issues or feet issues. All right, nice job. Whew, well done. Okay, so we need a couple dumbbells here. So grab your dumbbells. All right, 2 separate exercises that we're going to put together. We've got our bicep curl to shoulder press. Bicep curl looks like this, all the way up and down. Only the elbows moving. So bicep curl up and down. Nice firm grip on your dumbbells, dry hands. You don't want to dump these on yourself or on your floor. Controlled, no arm swinging, no momentum, no hips moving, right? You want to isolate just the elbows. Okay, now shoulder press. We're going to bring up here, and then we're going to rotate and push all the way up. All right, so they'll be racked right on the outsides of your shoulders, palms facing forward, and this is your shoulder press. All the way up and all the way down. Hands come together at the top or not. All right, so if we put it together, we've got about 30 seconds here. So bicep curl, rotate, shoulder press, down, rotate, straighten those elbows, bend those elbows, rotate, up, down, rotate, 15 seconds. And you can rotate kind of as you're moving, or you can do it all separate movements. All right, take a break there. Put your dumbbells down and shake them out a little bit. So we're getting bicep muscle, front of the upper arm. We're also getting deltoids in the shoulders, triceps in the back of the upper arm. Mostly that middle deltoid if you're out here as opposed to here. If you're in closer this way with your shoulder press, you're getting more of those front deltoids. Out here in the military press, more of the outside middle deltoids. All right, so grab those dumbbells again. We got another minute. In position, palms facing forward. All right, so bend those elbows, rotate, and then straighten the elbows up above your head. and down. Rotate, straighten those elbows. So back and forth. If you get tired, slow things down a little bit. You can also do singles. If I want to curl and do one at a time. Doesn't have to be both at the same time. All depends what you're comfortable with. Maybe you've got one shoulder that's not working as well as you'd like it, and you need a lighter weight for it, or you need to concentrate just on that. It's all up to you. 10 seconds. Almost there. Keep going. No hip movement, no momentum, slow and controlled. All right, well done. Good job there. Okay, so get rid of your dumbbells and grab, what are we doing? Grab your chair. So grab your chair, whatever you have. I've got my chair sitting on a mat just because the chair slides really easy. I want to make sure that the chair's not sliding around when you're doing things. Make sure that your feet aren't going to slip out and stuff. Make sure your balance is working really well. Back a little further, get in the camera there. So here we're looking for the lean back. So you're going to sit more on the front half of the chair, so you can lean back, let those abdominal muscles hold you, keep you from falling backwards. If you're sitting too far back, that you're going to run into the back of your chair. So sit more on that front part of the chair so that you can lean back a little bit and do this. So here we're working the abdominal muscles, we're bracing. Make sure those feet don't slip up off the ground. Keep your feet on the ground when you do this. And then when you're tired, sit up and pull yourself forward. Okay. Lean back as far as you feel comfortable and hold as long as you feel comfortable. Now what we'll do is we'll add a march to this. So 1 foot at a time, always having 1 foot as a base. Make sure, again, that's, chair is solid. Whatever you've got, you could always put it against a wall so it's not going to slide or move. Lean back and try marching for a little bit, whatever works for you. Here we're getting abdominal muscles, we're getting hip flexor muscles, fronts of hips. A couple more seconds, about 5 more. Keep breathing, always breathing. Don't ever hold your breath. All right, take a break. All right, so 30 seconds. So if things are a little easy, you could always grab a couple dumbbells or kettlebell or bag of sugar, whatever you got, in order to put a little bit more weight on your upper body so that it makes your abdominals work a little bit harder. We'll also add hip abduction on this second set. So a little bit of marching and then hip abduction. And I'll show you what we're doing here. So leaning back, you're gonna straighten one knee and then out to the side. A couple times, working the outside of the hip, the thigh muscle, while we lean back. So let's try again, another minute here. Straighten. And again, you can add some marches in and then some of these, or just stick with these, or just the lean backs without anything with the legs. All depends on what works for you. So here we're getting, again, abdominals, and we're making it even tougher because now we're taking one leg away while trying to do something else at the same time as the lean back. So that recruits more muscle fibers and more muscles, spinal muscles, everything having to work harder. Plus we're getting outside of the hip, outside of the thigh, and quadricep in the main front part of the thigh. Really straighten that knee and lock it, flex the thigh muscle. 15 seconds. And of course, always while breathing, don't hold your breath. Three seconds. All right, nice job. Okay, well done. Get rid of your chair. Make sure it's out of the way for you. All right, we have the upright row and shrug. So grabbing dumbbells again. And we'll try these guys again. So upright rows, standing up nice and tall. Whatever stance gives you the best stability. Here we're going to do this motion here. So hands will be at about, hip width or so, a little wider than hips, and we're just going to lift straight up. But I want your elbows up higher than your hands. They can even get up higher than your shoulders, and try as best you can to keep your wrists neutral. So not like this. I don't want to see this. I want this. As if those dumbbells are just rolling right up your body as best you can. Keep those forearms facing down, wrists facing down and neutral. Tight grip, firm grip, dry hands. And it's okay to hunch at the top. It's okay to shrug and hunch at the top. 27 seconds. Here we're working some deltoids again in the shoulders, middle deltoid a little more. A little bit of bicep in the upper arm, and then upper trapezius, muscles between the neck and the shoulder. And again, good posture as best you can. 5 seconds. Standing up nice and tall. All right, take a break. Get rid of your dumbbells if you want. Next one, for our second set, we're going to do shrugs. So letting the arms dangle at your sides. And now, a little easier, and you might want some heavier weights for this one, just shrugging. Okay? Letting the arms dangle. Again, firm grip, dry hands, and now just shrugging up. So we're working upper trapezius between the neck and the shoulder. Let those shoulders go up to your ears. Just hunch up. And let's go. 50 more seconds. Again, firm grip on those dumbbells. No white knuckles. You don't have to grip as hard as you can. You just need to grip as hard as you need to keep them in your hands. And again, we're trying for a whole minute. So this is going to test your grip also, especially if you've got heavier dumbbells. Kettlebells can work well with this too. If you got soup cans, not too heavy, but you'll get some work done. Again, whatever you can grab onto and grip well. A couple grocery bags, filled with stuff. So anything that hangs down. 5 seconds. Keep breathing. All right, nice job. Okay, getting rid of your dumbbells. Clearing out your space for another cardiovascular hit. All right, and again, you can get going right now, or you can wait about 31 seconds, and then we'll go officially. Make sure you got that room, everything cleared off. Get on your machine. If you're using machines, quick start feature works great because you just want to get on and get going without inputting a lot of information. Again, we're only going, about 2 minutes, 20 seconds, 2 minutes, 40 seconds at most. So you want to just get on and get going. All right, we're officially going. So get moving again. About 2 minutes and 21 seconds. How fast you go is up to you. This is all at your own pace. We want to get the heart rate up. We want to get the breathing up, but everybody's different. This is your pace. If you want to put on some music, get yourself kind of going a little bit. Some fast-paced music, any beats per minute, you'd be looking at, about 120, 130 beats per minute, that sort of stuff. If you're looking at cardiovascular music to get you going. And again, picking your feet up, especially if you're on carpet or there's rugs. If you've got jump ropes, if you've got plyometric benches, you want to do some box jumps, things like that. I mean, any of that sort of stuff will get the heart and lungs moving for sure. But something consistent, aerobic activity is what's going to work the heart and lungs best. So just consistent movement, not a lot of resistance. You can have some ankle cuff weights, or you want to hold dumbbells, fine. But again, make sure that your movements aren't too fast so that there's not any momentum being pulled on dumbbells, that sort of stuff. All right. And we just try to mimic our movements that we do, but without resistance, we can do it a little faster. and more consistent and for a longer amount of time. So any of the things we've done already, pull aparts, bicep curls, shoulder press, any of that sort of stuff you can, throw in your cardio, a little faster movements, no weight, no momentum. We got about 20 seconds. Again, making sure you got space around you so that you're not gonna whack the walls. If you're going forward and backwards or different things, again, making sure you know what's behind you. Almost done. There you go. Nice job. All right, well done. Okay, so grabbing your chair again and one dumbbell, or two if you need, one larger dumbbell or two smaller dumbbells, whatever you have. A bag of sugar, bag of flour, kettlebell, medicine ball, any of those will work great. All right, so again, we're going to lean back just slightly, but now we're going to add a rotation to it. So I'm going to hold this dumbbell in front of me. We're going to do the Russian twist. So we're just going to rotate to the side as far as you can and back to the middle. Rotate as far as you can to the opposite side, back to the middle. All right, leaning back just a little bit as you do that, or more if you want to. How far you lean back is up to you, or if you lean back at all. You don't have to lean back. This is predominantly rotation is what we're working. So whether you lean back is up to you. Again, solid chair, making sure that it's not going to move or slide. Keeping your feet flat on the ground on this one. Now, if you want more work, heavier dumbbell, something heavier. Or bringing the weight away from you. If you try to keep your elbows straighter or straight, that's going to add a little bit to your rotation. That weight's going to pull you into more rotation, and then you have to get out of it, of course. All right, take a break, take a break. So again, with the arms extended, that's a little tougher because as you go into rotation, that weight, especially the more you go into it, that weight wants to pull you into rotation, and then you have to get out of that to get back to the middle. All right. Now, if you're adding more of a lean back, having the weight closer to you can make things a little bit tougher also. So all depending on what's comfortable for you. Rotate as far as you feel comfortable. Head is going to stay neutral to your chest. So whatever your chest is doing, that's where your head is. You're not with your chest and then your head looking way back. Okay. All right, let's try again. It's not like you're checking your blind spot driving. Now, if you want to get a little bit of range of motion work, sure, you could always look with your head. If you're having issues with, things like checking your blind spot when you're driving or different stuff, add a little bit of rotation to your neck too. Slow and controlled. And like usual, always breathing. And no resistance on the head or neck with anything. All right, do some more of these. About 15 seconds. You can just pause briefly in the middle. You don't necessarily have to pause. Just make sure it's slow and controlled. That you're not going fast. There's no momentum going on, of course. All right, nice job. Okay, so getting rid of your chair and grab, if you've got a yoga mat, something like that works good. We're going to be on the floor. Give yourself plenty of room on this one. You're going to lay down flat on the floor with your arms going up behind you. So especially if you're taller, make sure you have a nice chunk of room. And grab one dumbbell or two small ones, or if you've got a medicine ball or a kettlebell, any of those. All right, laying on your back. This is the hook lying position. So flat on your back. Let's make sure that this mic isn't going to get rubbed here. So we'll start off with the pelvic tilt first. So knees up, feet flat. You have that natural curve in your spine. What we're going to do here is we're going to rotate the pelvis backwards. When we rotate it backwards, that low back will flatten firmly against the ground. As we do that, we bear down, tighten the abdominals and hold. Couple seconds, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, whatever you want to do, and then relax. Reset that tilt and hold. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm going to add a pullover. So grabbing a dumbbell or whatever I'm using, I want to make sure that I'm going to go back and then forth. I'm going to allow my arms to go back above my head, take a break, and forward. So while I hold that tilt, back and forth. And you can hold the dumbbell, whatever works for you. And you can go back as far as you feel comfortable. The further you go back, the harder it's going to be to hold that pelvic tilt. All right? And relax that tilt at any time. All right, let's go for that second minute here. So hold that pelvic tilt. And then back with the arms, and then forward. If you're using 2 dumbbells, you're going to have to control it a little better. As opposed to 1, both hands will be together holding that dumbbell, or medicine ball, or kettlebell, whatever you're using. So pullovers, we're getting upper back muscles. And then our pelvic tilt, we're getting abdominal muscles, hip muscles, a little bit of the glutes. And especially keep breathing on this one. You can bear down and flex without, holding your breath. Keep breathing. And those arms back as far as you can comfortably and slowly. Take breaks at any time. All right, nice job. Okay, that's all we got on that one. So, getting rid of your mat. What do we got? So, getting rid of your mat, clean up your area, and grab a couple smaller dumbbells for the tricep kickbacks. All right. So, a couple small dumbbells again. Nice grip, firm grip, dry hands. Here, we're going to get into a position, feet about shoulder width apart, hip width apart. We're going to squat down slightly, and we're going to hinge forward, leaning forward from the hips, not allowing you to bow out, but to keep straight. Chest is out. All right, back is straight. Now, elbows, we're going to pinch back and go back as if you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Elbows are tucked into your sides like they're attached to your ribs. Now we're ready for the movement. We're going to straighten the elbows and bend. The movement is all in the elbows, working the triceps, the backs of the upper arms. So really lock those elbows, straighten, let them bend slowly, straighten fully. And again, you want to be squat and leaned over just a little bit, and you want those elbows back behind you, as if you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. If you want, you can do singles or alternate. Got about 6 seconds. Keep breathing. All right, take a break. Nice job. So the toughest part sometimes is just getting in position. What we want is we want those upper arms, the backs of the upper arms facing up more towards the ceiling. That way we can focus on the straightening and not the bending part of the elbow. Okay, so just get in position. What we'll do is we're going to add a little piece to this. So I'm going to get into this position. Again, elbows back, tucked into my sides, and I'm going to straighten those elbows. But what I'll do is I'll add a little side step in between. So I'm in a bent over position with the knees bent in a slight squat, really sticking my butt out. And I'm just kind of stepping back and forth, controlled. All right. Just back and forth, about 44 seconds. If your coordination allows it, add this little step in. If not, just stick with the arms. And again, shoulder blades are being squeezed together. Elbows are tucked in tight at your sides and back. And you're hinged forward from the hips, leaning forward a little bit. "11 seconds. Again, you can always switch to singles. All right. Nice job there. Okay, so getting rid of your dumbbells. We've got another cardiovascular, our last one here. So grabbing a sip of water, cleaning up your area, making sure you have good space to move. And again, you can get going right away, or you can wait we got about 23 seconds till the official start. We'll do cardio. We'll finish off with 2 minutes of cool down, a little bit of a single leg balance, and then some stretching. And that will do. All right, officially going here. About 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Well done. Keep moving here. And remember, anytime you can always comment on these videos. If you have questions or feedback, comment on the video. Like the video if you like it. If you don't like it, you can push the not like video too, I suppose. But I of course love likes and feedback. Let me know how my mic is doing. If it sounds okay. Let me know if is this helping you. Are there exercises you want to see? There you go. Consistent moving. Another minute and a half of brisk moving. And again, if you're having ankle issues and things, you can always just take a seat and move your arms. Same sort of movements we do. Bicep curls, shoulder presses, the tricep kickback we just did. Any of that sort of stuff can be used for cardiovascular. Again, as long as it's consistent. A little bit of air punches. And how fast you go is up to you, all at your own pace. About 45 seconds. And remember, nothing should hurt. A little bit of discomfort if you have joints or areas that are, inflamed slightly maybe, but nothing should hurt, Shouldn't be hearing any huge pops and clunks, especially if they cause pain. If you need to slow down, slow down. If things are too easy, press forward. 15 seconds, keep moving. This is the last little burst. Finish off strong here. All right, well done. Whew, good job. Get that breathing under control. Okay, we got a cool down here. So about a minute and 51 seconds left. Cool down. Just an easier form of the cardiovascular, right? Kind of the opposite of the warm-up. Here we're wanting to move consistently, but slower. We want our heart rate to go down. We want our breathing to go down, more manageable. Beats per minute wise, we'd like, below 100 beats per minute. If you're taking your heart rate or you're checking your Fitbit watch or whatever, below 100 beats per minute is kind of what we're shooting for. Now, maybe it doesn't take you 2 minutes to do that. Maybe you can get there a lot quicker, depending on how fit you are. Or maybe 2 minutes is not enough time for a cool down. And maybe you just hit pause on the video and you cool down for another minute. Again, it's all up to you. This is at your pace. And because it's pre-recorded, you can fast forward, you can rewind, you can skip, pause, stop, whatever you want to do. Keep moving. 40 seconds. Even if you're just walking in place. Real gentle. Again, we want that heart rate down. We want your breathing down. But we're using your muscles and your breathing to help pump that blood around so that it's not pooling in, say, the large thigh muscles. We want that blood, going through the head and everything, especially if you've got blood pressure issues. Make sure we keep some good circulation going gently. 10 seconds. And then we're going to do some single leg balance here. All right. Nice job. Well done. Hope you cooled down well enough. So we're going to do a single leg balance. If you want to grab a chair or a window sill or stand next to a wall, something just to give you support if you need it, we'll do that. We'll do a minute, 2 sets of 1 minute. So I'll do a minute on one leg and a minute on the other leg. How you break that up is up to you. You can take breaks at any time or switch back and forth. So what we're doing, get away from the window here. I'm just going to stand on one leg. This sort of motion. Now, if this is, too easy, closing one eye, closing both eyes, maybe grabbing a beach ball or a tennis ball and throwing and catching or bouncing and catching, anything to make this more, more tough for you, but safe. If this is a little tough already, then just holding on to something, maybe you're holding on to the chair as you balance, or maybe it's just one finger, or maybe it's there as you need it. Maybe you've got a toe down on the ground or touching yourself, your other ankle. Again, whatever works for you. Safely. We don't want any falls. Balance is something you have to work on and get. It's not something that just happens all of a sudden. So don't work past your safe limitations. All right, so now I'm going to switch to the other leg. Again, you can switch back forth anytime you want. Maybe your goal is to do this 5 seconds on one foot and then switch to the other. Or maybe you're trying, shooting for a whole minute. Again, whatever works for you. Just stay safe. You'll notice, ankle muscles will be burning a little bit. Your toes will feel like they're trying to grab the ground. Calf muscles, hip and glute muscles, having to support your full weight on one leg. Abdominal muscles, spinal muscles, all those small intrinsic muscles are having to do a lot of work to hold you upright against gravity. All the muscles are communicating and talking to each other very quickly in order to keep you upright. They don't want you to fall any more than you do. 15 seconds. Keep going. And of course, as always, keep breathing. If you lose your balance, okay, catch yourself and restart. Couple seconds. All right, nice job. Okay, we are going to finish off with stretching. So we got 3 different stretches to do. A couple more minutes here, and then we'll be finished. First one we'll do is for the back of the thigh. So the hamstring, the back of the thigh, and then behind the knee. So I'm going to sit back. Weight is on my back leg more. I'm digging in the heel on my front leg. And I'm going to squat down and lean forward a little bit until I feel a good stretch behind the thigh, behind the knee. You may feel it in the calf, in the glutes, in the low back area too. But behind the thigh is kind of the primary spot. We try to go a good 10 to 15 seconds per stretch, or longer if you can. And like usual, always breathing, not holding our breath, trying to relax. You can reach down towards that toe if you want. Let's try the other leg. So again, I'm sitting back, digging in the heel on that front leg. Front leg is what we're stretching. Nice and gentle, no bouncing, no jerking. A static hold, meaning that we're not moving during the stretch. And if you get lightheadedness or any kind of problems with leaning forward, then just do not lean forward as far. You can just grab and try to reach towards your knee as opposed to your ankle. All right, let's try upper back. So here, what I'm going to do, nice wide stance. I'm going to pelvic tilt, just like we did when we were laying down doing those pelvic tilts. Hips forward, okay? Like I'm spilling backwards. If my hips were a bucket of water, the bucket of water would spill backwards. That'll straighten that low back. I'm going to tighten the abdominals, and then I'm going to push the hands out as far as I can. You can even interlace them if you want, and look at your palms. Have your palms face back towards you. Really trying to round out that upper and middle back. Again, breathing. Hold that pose. All right, so we got one more stretch here. Let's go. Hands either behind the head or ears, or above the shoulders, whatever works for you. You're going to bring those elbows backwards as if you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Chest is out. You can bring the tummy out and the hips forward too, as if you're leaning back slightly. Really just try to bring those elbows backwards, stretching out the chest and the fronts of the shoulders. Nice deep breathing. And now let's open the hands nice and wide. Thumbs are going to be facing kind of up and back. You can bring your wrists back and really try to open up. You may feel this a little bit in the forearms and arms stretching too. All right, nice job. And shake it out. Well done. That is all we got today. Nice job. Thanks for being here with the exercise, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.